Testing one, two, three. Testing, testing. Testing one, two, three. Testing, testing one, two, and three. Hey, you will make it TV. Happy Sunday to you guys out there. You will make it TV followers, viewers, and supporters and listeners anyway. That's who we're talking to. We thank you for your support and coming back, joining us on another live stream topic to see what it is we have to say. Um, People be like, oh, not all support is good support. Tell the celebrities that. Tell the celebrities who don't really know any of their fans by name or address, like they don't keep up with what kind of attention they're getting. You know what I mean? Thank God for a little knowledge and wisdom, though, because truth be told, a lot of people actually won't tell you that. They'll tell you that, though, like, oh, all attention ain't good attention. And it's like, you can have a target audience all day long, but you can't really help. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, you cannot help what kind of attention you end up attracting. I don't know. I mean, I've thought about this long enough to go ahead and speak on this. You really can't. For a long time they would say, well, women should put clothes on, and then they talk about why men are stalking them or be looking at them and stuff. And I'm like, no, that just sounds like some lame excuse to be able to handle women in any old kind of way. But you just telling her what she should have did to avoid the quote unquote wrong attention makes no sense to me. You've never been able to control who use their eyeballs and look at you, who use their lips and spoke on you, come on now, like technically you don't. So it's just an old died out, played out quote to me to say, be careful, all attention ain't good attention. Well, we know that. I mean, what is that? What is that helping anybody telling us that? Well, I'm proud to be an American this morning, for real, y'all. Like, the things that people are still saying after it's played out, it's funny to me. It is 2025, like, and you talking about all attention. Be careful, Miss Arthur Teta Sherry. All attention ain't good attention. You think we don't know that? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we know that, but since when could you control what attention decides to put its eyes on you? You know what I mean? And yes, it's like I tell people, I'm not used to a lot of attention all the time, but at the same time, I am familiar. I'm very, very familiar with attention. So you talking to the right one when you talk about attention. Attention, at ease, all of it. Anyways, today's topic is a little different. Usually we talk about, because people think I just pick on people to talk about. No, we check on real news and what's going on out here, and then what does Arthur Tedder Sherry do? I come and give my reaction and commentary. Things I say out loud to myself when I read the news. Anyway, why not share them with my grand peers and subscribers and supporters here? So, do you guys also agree that the fairs, or y'all know this time in the fall is when a lot of people attend these fairs I know they have them like spring breaks and stuff, different seasons of the year, but I don't think that they've gotten more expensive. I think what it is people are noticing how much more expensive. Because when I read that article, I was like, well, the fair has always been expensive. What are they talking about? The fair truly always has. I don't care what fair you go to, because most local communities host some type of fair. Like I said, once again, during the fall or during the holidays of some sort, or during summer, winter, not probably not winter, but summer and spring break, you're gonna see those fairs start to roll around in town. Okay, the fairs, the carnivals. Maybe I shouldn't call them fairs. Carnivals, ladies and gentlemen, because some people call them carnivals. They know exactly what you're talking about when you say carnival. Now, I don't care how old you are listening in, tuning into this stream, and how long carnivals have been around. Is it just me, or I thought carnivals were always expensive. Of course, you don't know that when you're younger. Your parents and everybody is paying for everything. But now that I'm a parent, you better believe that I agreed the carnivals been out of control. I couldn't believe they were finally talking about it. They were finally talking about it on the news. I said, well, it's about time. No, I'm not going to say finally, because they do talk about that every year. Every year it seemed like a family lately turn around and come on the news talking about how crazy, how much money they spent at a fair or carnival. Talking about $15 for one corn dog. Because you got to eat when you out there. Or what do y'all suggest people do? Eat before they get there? Eat before they get there. Some people say bring your own snacks. That's what people gonna start doing. Cause it's like, if you're gonna keep bringing the carnival, people are gonna keep coming. Now they already gotta pay for their tickets and the rides and the games and stuff. But the food, to me, you cannot control whether people want to start bringing their own food in public to places. Cause I say that's coming anyway. With the changes of food prices and tariffs and stuff going on out here, you can expect to see more people not only preserve and conserve their food more. I feel like they'll be bringing their food in public too. You know how they used to say, bring your own drink? Well, it's going to be BYOF soon for everybody. Bring your own food, because who's going to be able to afford a $15 corn dog? Now, of course, they're not any corn dogs, guys. Usually the corn dogs at the carnivals and fairs, those are more, what is it? First of all, they be like 12 feet long, so they make you feel like, well, you could spend $15 on this corn dog. Look at the value you're getting out of it. I'm just making my jokes, guys, but we know that for sure this fair that was on the news, this carnival is very well known in Texas. And then, like I said, there's a lot of states that host their yearly carnivals for their communities to come and attend. Yeah, people have a right to ask why the prices be so high, because, people also have a right to ask, where's the money going? After these carnivals and circuses, the circus, I don't have to ask. Usually the circus, all the money we pay to go to those circuses, it goes back to paying the entertainers. Where did you think it's going? It goes back on travel prices, travel fees, and paying the entertainers, and probably paying for all the equipment you needed just to bring that circus alive. So we don't have to ask the circus, oh, what do y'all be doing with y'all money after it's over? But these carnivals and fairs, I do wonder. Because, it'd be like $15 for one corny dog, bro. Don't try to buy a slab of ribs, because, the carnivals and fairs in Texas, they're always going to have barbecue somewhere. Not saying I'm against barbecue. I'm actually one of the world top barbecue lovers, if anything, because I'm from out there. But even the barbecue slabs, I'm trying to name pieces of barbecue that it's just outrageous what people have started charging. You already know, like, who goes to an outing and they don't expect to eat? Some of these places and concerts, I heard the water bottles were like I know y'all gonna think I'm exaggerating. Just ask people that's been to concerts and carnivals lately. One water bottle being like $5. Literally. That's why I said bring your BYOF is coming soon. They need to make an emoji for that too. An emoji for bring your own drink and an emoji for bring your own food. Because I just feel like we're going to be seeing that more commonly anyway. Now, just no matter what the state of the economy has ever been, people still go outside. They go to outings. I'm like, the economy can't be doing too bad. We still having carnivals and circuses and all this stuff, but this is the time of year. I'm just starting October off talking about October things. So every year around harvest time, harvest pumpkin season, you're gonna see the carnivals and everybody come back outside. In some places, the circus. It's been so long since we've been to the circus. I gotta get my daughters back to. I don't even know if they're gonna. I know my baby will enjoy the circus, but the bigger girls, I don't know if it would still be fun to them. But see, we been on it. Is that what they waiting to hear me say? Yep, I'm saying it publicly. We bring our own food and drinks to certain type of events. We've been having to do that because, and it's like everybody can still eat. Everybody can still eat. Hello, Who's just calling me in the middle of my stream? But yeah, we can. Where was I at? We can still eat, drink, and have some snacks and have a good time if you bring your own. Okay, this where you might not have a good time. You're paying for the tickets, you're paying for the amusement, entertainment, you're paying for the games and stuff, and then you left hungry. That's why I always feel like with a lot of these amusement parks, the season passes are always better. If you're gonna do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can afford that no more. Like, oh, we just going on an entertaining trip this one time. You might as well get a season pass. Where's the trip? To Disney World, Sea World, Universal Studios, right? I know those are not carnivals, but they give carnival vibes, so they are included. Plus, I wonder what the update with people returning back to Disney since Jimmy Kimmel returned to work. Like, is Disney doing better, or because everybody was talking about all this money they lost because people started unsubscribing and maybe to their Disney net. What is it? The little Disney app. It's like a subscription, pretty much. Just get access to everything Disney. But I wonder, are they doing better after Jimmy Kimmel did return to work? But it's a real issue today. Like, I don't know why. I do understand that carnivals and festivals and fairs, people don't understand. They have to put that money back. They pay money to get them to come out there and set up those Ferris wheels and rides and bring animals out there. Ain't none of that free for them. So we can almost see how much it is when corn dogs in a batch of nachos cost you $12. I'm making it trendy again for, in the words of our long lost brother and beloved rapper in the industry. He's no longer here, but he used to say, your price is way too high. You need to cut it. Because people can describe you as a cheap person, or see, no matter what happened in the economy, I knew I was going to be okay. Like, people, I'm not ashamed to say that. People have labeled me a cheap person for a very long time because they seen how I carried myself when I had money or finances arranged too. They saw that. Like, I just wasn't always out ready to do the next thing just because you have some money, or I'm always paying attention to prices. And they like, why you care about how much the hot dogs and stuff is? Because sometimes you go to an event and think about it later, like, damn, I spent $500 out there that night. It's crazy. So anyways, I just thought I would come give my reaction and commentary to that news, because something's got to give, right? I feel like most places, though, with how the economy is, should just, at this point, have free admission for children. At this point, you know, You don't plan on going down on the prices or changing how you charge when people come to your establishments. You might as well that I'm just trying to give some solutions, but I feel like maybe people wouldn't complain so much if most places just go ahead and start doing free admission for kids. Now most places do have free admission for kids. I think it's if they're under 5 when it comes to carnivals and state fairs and stuff like that. But it does make me miss Texas for a season, for a second, because those carnivals are every fall. I think it's called the State Fair. The Texas one is it's really really nice. But more people have been coming out saying it's expensive as hell. That's all. You gotta pay for the transportation to get there. Then you gotta pay for the transportation to get back home, and that's not even food at the fair yet. Then you gotta pay for your tickets if you're gonna ride rides and play games and stuff. Sure, people even invest in fancy outfits and everything else they wear out there to those events. My main point of this, I guess what I have to say about it is it's okay to downsize and miss stuff. If anything, if you Google, I think people just don't know this, but if you Google, hey, what's going on in my community or what's going on for my community for free, I don't know what communities people stay in, but you would be surprised how many free events or free type of vendor events and just things that communities actually offer for free. See, people don't ever want to go look at that. They want to be at the events that when they post it on social media, they're going to get clout. Like, oh, you went to the state fair, but you didn't know people struggling and stuff past 5 years every time they go to the state fair. I do believe during the pandemic, though, they didn't host. That's the only time I remember them canceling the state fair in some states, you know. Other than that, fairs and carnivals been went back to business. They been back outside, you know, but it is free stuff. You could take your family to do, and that's where I get offended too. Anywhere mass event violence happens is bad, but when it's a free event, to me it's even worse because it's like people just stay looking and ready, you know, to mess up any type of fun. Of course, mass event violence at a place that you actually paid to get in, people need to start being reimbursed. Let's just see if mass event violence starts decreasing after that. So that's my opinion. What am I saying? Every place that is a mass event violence attack, people should be reimbursed their money. I don't even know if they've been doing that out here. You just trying to go to a carnival or a festival and somebody come out there acting stupid. Well, every dollar that you paid for the food, the tickets, and everything, if people got their money back, would people be so quick to do these mass violent, you know, if the actual organizers and establishments and companies were actually required to pay people their money back every time there's a mass violence? I'm not talking about just the victims, because, you know, when it's mass violence attacks, somebody always get hurt. We know the victims be, you know what I'm saying, end up having to look to get paid because it's like, look what happened to you. But I'm saying even the bystanders, nobody goes out to a mass event for violence to transpire there. I feel like companies should be held more liable because it's like, where was your security? Where was your security and everybody protecting everybody? Okay, once again, just like public school, that's, you know, you might not pay to for your kids to go there, but it's not a place that you send them thinking that mass attack violences are going to go down there. So I just feel like families should be paid every time they put in those situations where they in public, and then somebody just come out there and randomly do some stupid stuff at a whole mass event. That's another reason I say that people should, you know, you can say what people should do all day long, but these are just my opinions, my reaction, my commentary to real issues in the world right now. One minute, if they're not talking about the prices of these big events, then it's always some type of mass violence that happened at some big event. I say that's one direction of trying to fix the solution. if you start coming to companies saying, okay, well, you owe everybody that was in a store or everybody that was in the vicinity of your business when this mass event went on, mass violence or whatever I'm trying to say. The more people you actually hold accountable, not let people distract you all the time and tell you who should be held accountable for what. And I believe God has me on this train of thought for a reason, because it might actually transpire to that one day. You got to start doing something. The mass violent attacks haven't stopped. So, it's like, how do you combat that? Because if you just continue to let it look normalized, continue to let people think it's okay. No, start charging these establishments too, because they notice they never have much to say, but oh, how unfortunate. A mass violence happened at my establishment. Well, maybe your establishment should start being held accountable, because why do people feel so comfortable coming in your store, coming in your school, coming into your mass event to commit violence? Like, why do people feel comfortable doing this? You seen after the first, let's say, 5 stories just in the past 3 years. Anything you just let happen, keep happening. Okay, we're going to invest this one matter at a time, and then you wondering why it's still going on. Because people feel comfortable doing that. They feel like they can just come in movie theaters, come places where people came to have a good time with their families and mind their business. I think sometimes these mass event violence people, they must not have families. They must not have many people. They must not have a life. And it's like it triggers them to see other people have a good time. And the reason I point this out is not to be quote unquote messy or give negative opinions and just throw them out into the atmosphere. My opinions are usually valid. I'm just telling people my track record. They're usually pretty valid, my opinions. What was I finna say? Oh yeah, so I pay attention to that. I don't have to be at a mass event to see that it's people in the world that hate to see you have a good time, have be outside with your family, sharing drinks, sharing fun. How do we know this? Because when people turn around and share the videos and clips and photos of the good time they had on social media, and the responses that you see people get showed us that it be people whole upset, I guess, or feel like that's the perfect time to target you when you out with your family at a whole mass event. It's just dumb. And I really do hope the world gets better soon, because things like the circus, carnivals, and fairs, families have always been known. Families are the ones who help make those, make those events become a source of income for the ones who put on those events. People can talk about families, but they forget how much whole families do contribute to society. From being working citizens to being the ones who go back outside and put that money back into the community by attending fairs and carnivals and stuff like this. That's why I never understood, why would you want to break a family? A family unit is what puts money in most of these businesses' pockets. If you don't have a family, you have no need for Wi-Fi. You don't have a family, you have no need for pets or pet food or cleaning supplies, or you'd have no need to pay bills whatsoever if families didn't exist. Just trying to bring back normalizing the benefits of family. We've talked a lot about how families can be broken, separated, divided, go through traumatic events. Okay, that's not all good. Okay, so we all gonna be expertise in the downfall of families, but let's talk about how families have and still continue to be a real beneficial asset to the economy. Who do you think buying all the diapers and formula right now? Families. Who do you think pays the most bills or have the highest bills every month? Families. You see? So it's like, why sleep on families? Listen to them. If they say the fairs and carnivals are getting too high, you might want to pay attention. Too expensive. Because, it was the families that attended your events that made you making money even possible. I just hate when customers are disregarded. Somebody gave their opinion the other day and they said, well, I don't believe the customer's always right. And whoever that was, we'll see how long that their business their business stays open. But you got to listen to people. I heard somebody say that on TikTok the other day. They said, "No, I don't believe the customer is always right. Sometimes the customer is wrong." Duh. But see, that's not how it's taught. It's taught that the customer is always right. Not because they are, but without the business of your customers, you pretty much have no customers. Or if you play with one customer a certain way and other customers find out about it, yeah, you lose customers. So they don't mean it in a sense that, yeah, the customer's always right. They mean it in a sense, yeah, you're going to tell yourself the customer always right if you plan on being in business long. Because who the hell is running a business with no customers or clients, right? And if you are, I would just say that's considered a business loss with the IRS, because you done made all these investments to start the business, to build the business, but you have no returns from customers and clients. That's what you call a business loss. Thank you guys for tuning in to another live segment. I'll pretty much be covering like several different topics today. In case you're just hanging out, chilling in your home this Sunday, you want to get more familiar with You Will Make It TV and our discussion topics over here, this Sunday is a perfect opportunity for you to do just that. We'll be back with some more insightful topics today. And you guys be careful, be smart out here with your money. I heard some people spending whole rent money just to go on 2 concerts. You really have people making those type of compromises already. It's nothing new. We've been hearing these stories on TikToks, like people spending whole utility money on just to say, hey, I met Mariah Carey, I met Beyonce, I went to a Young Boy concert, knowing they could not afford to go when they went. Oh, people say, oh, you haven't had this and that experience. Some of us haven't, because you so busy building and chasing after what you want in life. You know that once you get established, you go wherever you want to. These are just working class people who want to have a good time sometimes. That's why they schedule outings and things for their families to do on vacations and stuff. But they still have bills to pay when they get home. So, I don't know. I just feel like people will eventually be forced to start finding new creative ways to have a good time that doesn't cost them an arm and a leg. Because I know people are capable of doing this, because during the pandemic, a lot of people were forced to do it. They had to create creative ways to save money and still somehow live a manageable and adventurous life somehow. So I just think that's interesting. Thank you guys for tuning in.